Well, good morning, Park Drive Church. It's good to be together again online. And this morning I have Debbie McGuire with me here in the office. Why don't you say hello, Debbie?
Hello.
Most of you will know that Debbie has been a part of our church over the last 10 years and has really reached out in ministry to do with our prayer chain. She also helps with planning lots of different kinds of events. Many of us are grateful for the birthday lunches and things that you put together. But now in this time of COVID-19, we're just really starting to realize how vital and essential it is that we are, faithful to the call that God calls us to, and making ourselves available to grow in the things that He wants us to grow in. So tell us a little bit about the prayer chain and how it works.
Well, we get people phoning in or emailing in prayer requests. And it can be anything from people needing encouragement, or somebody who is sick, or relatives that are injured or sick, or whatever. And we put it out to the prayer warriors, and we keep praying on it until we have a solution. There's updates that come in on each prayer, and we try and keep everybody informed as to what is going on. I think it's important that we keep praying for the people in our congregation, and people need to know that they can put their prayer requests in and they will be prayed for.
Something you mentioned before, Deb, is the kinds of requests that people share with you. What kinds of things do you guys pray about?
We've had prayers on people that are battling cancer, people that have surgeries, and people who have family members that are going through different illnesses and injuries and stuff. We'll pray on anything that somebody wants to bring to the prayer chain. We will pray on it. So, and it can be little or it can be big. God hears all the prayers.
Another thing that I enjoy about the prayer chain is that whenever we are praying together and people submit these requests, realize that it's more than just you. It may be more than just your family, your spouse, or friend, but the whole congregation is backing you, and it's an adventure that we embark on together with God. And I think you were saying earlier, like you'd like to see the prayer chain grow.
I would. I think it's important that more people get involved in prayer. And our prayer list right now is quite small compared to the size of our congregation. And I would like to see more prayer warriors put their names in, their emails in, so that they receive the prayer requests as well, and continue to pray for the people that ask for prayer. I think it's important.
It's funny, would you have considered yourself a prayer warrior, 5 years ago or 8 years ago, Deb?
No.
No.
I would not have, no. I was pretty quiet and pretty meek, but as time has gone on, God has put a boldness in me and a zest for more prayer. So, yeah, I've come a long ways.
Yeah. It's the willingness that we all have to grow in situations like this. You were mentioning just yesterday you were part of an online event for Passover.
Right.
Tell us a little about it.
Well, it was called the National Passover Gathering, where we were on Facebook and Zoom and listened for 3 hours to different pastors, Jewish, I don't know if they're called pastors, but rabbis.
Rabbis, yeah.
We prayed for Israel. There was 3 hours of prayer and worship and communion, and just different prayers from different people for all over the world, for prayers and mainly for Israel. They were praying for Israel, but lots for Canada. God is moving. He's doing a work in the people right now with this virus going on, and people need to sit up and take notice to what he's calling them to do and to be in this time. It's tough for everybody, and you know what? We'll get through this. God has got this, and we will get through it no matter what.
Amen.
Yeah.
You know, I notice in the way that you're speaking, Deb, you're talking about the difference between being a spectator and really being a participant. When you say, like, God has called us to be part of something, you know, this must be something that is different for you. Prior to this, to participate in a prayer meeting, like you would go somewhere, or you would have people over, or you would gather in a circle. What's it like to gather online for a spiritual purpose?
It's very encouraging. It's the inspiration, and it encourages you to pray more. There's people on there that I listen to that I never thought that I would ever hear in prayer, but it just brought everybody together where you are one unit. There's not individuals here. It's one body of Christ that you are praying with. So it was awesome. Yeah.
When you participate, is it all through like type and text, or also through video or camera?
It's all through camera. You see each person as they pray and speak, and it was the higher pastors and ministers and stuff like that were doing the actual praying. But then there's a chat area where you can put in your prayer or your comment or whatever you want to put in there. So yeah, it was very humbling to be part of it. Yeah.
And yet emboldening. Like you just
yeah,
feel stronger.
Sure. Yeah, you come away not feeling like you're alone in this. So it was really good. It was really good.
Well, another thing that you had mentioned before is, you know, our own goals as a church and how we can view prayer in this time. And, you know, we may not always look to God first when it comes to our needs or a crisis situation.
Right. Yeah, I think that a lot of times we try and do things in our own strength, and God is the last resource that we go to. I'm guilty of that as much as anybody else, and I think we need to really sit up and pay attention to what is happening now and start looking to God for those answers first before we start trying anything else. I think it's important that we really look to Him and start putting Him first.
It makes me think of that passage that we all know from the Psalms. Psalm 20, verse 7. Some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. And it's something we got to take to heart. I feel like God is making a statement in this time too, just along the lines of what we're talking about, Deb, that we need to trust God. Absolutely. And we need to turn to prayer, and we need to celebrate as the miracles take place, and God really demonstrates that, you know, He can rise above all of this, and so can we, as we put our trust in Him.
Absolutely.
And so, on behalf of the lead team and our congregation, Deb, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing what God will do next.
Yes.